In August of 2006, Summerlin Academy opened its doors using 6 classrooms and 3 portables located on the existing Bartow High School campus. Now, the morning of August 7, 2006, 213 Summerlin Academy cadets stepped off the buses to begin their journey in their first cadet corps. Now, you want to stick around because we've got the story of Summerlin Academy coming up next on Polk Place. Welcome to Polk Place. I'm your host, Brian Lacey, and joining us in studio to talk a little bit about Summerlin Academy is school commandant. It's Stephen Cochran. How you doing, Steve?
Doing great. Thanks for having us, Brian.
Also joining us at the rank of Major, Ann McCarty. How you doing, Ann?
Very good. Thanks for having us.
And let's not forget about Nicole Chung. She's one of the cadets at Summerlin Academy. She is in her senior year. How you doing, Nicole?
Good. Thank you for having us.
Stephen, let's talk a little bit about Summerlin Academy. For those that might not be aware of it, what exactly is Summerlin Academy?
Well, that's a good question. Summerlin Academy is a school of choice open to all Polk County students throughout the county. We draw from as far as Davenport all the way down to Fort Meade. Our students come from all over to have a leadership experience. We're an academy that focuses on leadership skills, and we do that using JROTC as our model for leadership. And we also give students challenges and opportunities to lead. So we are a college prep leadership academy that is open to all students throughout the county.
As we said in the beginning, the school had really a humble beginning, and you guys have grown throughout the years. Talk about the 9 years that's happened so far, and how it's grown from the portables to the facility you have now.
That's true. It started at Bartow High School in portables and any space that they could find at Bartow. In 2000, and do you remember the year they moved to the
2008, sir.
2008, they moved to the new facility that we have now. It's a $7 million facility, which has its own indoor rifle range, which is a rarity among JRTC programs. We have our own multi-purpose room, which is effectively our gym. We have an administrative building that includes in it a state-of-the-art lab for the students, a computer lab, a media center. Our classrooms and our building is built in the shape of to pay homage to West Point and other military facilities. It's built with our classrooms out around a quad, so it sort of looks like an old style military facility, but with all of the modern amenities, of course, air conditioning and other things, to make it a comfortable student experience.
As you mentioned, kind of the horseshoe in the middle, the gathering place, and especially I've been over there when you guys have had change of commands. They also do their PT out there a little bit. They gather out there. Talk about the importance of having that similarity and starting them off in school. So in the event the cadets decide to take a military career, talk about the importance of having that facility like that.
Well, it all leads to the leadership experience. We use that quad because every morning, every student that we have is out on the quad. They start their day before the school bell rings, and we raise the American flag. We play the national anthem. Every cadet says the Pledge of Allegiance, and we're all there in the morning. And that's kind of unique to any school, that every student is in one place in the morning. That would be like having every school put their kids in an auditorium or a gymnasium to start their school day. Instead, they start in individual classes. But we have all of our students there, and our student leaders are in front of our students, and they're starting leadership skills first thing in the morning by inspecting cadets' uniforms, by giving out what some of the priorities are of the day, or if we have special events going on. They make sure that the cadets are fully informed. And it is very important because leadership starts first thing in the morning with the example being set by our student leaders. And I did want to say, as a leadership academy, we use that military format, and I would say that compared to other high schools, we do have an unusual number of students, or a higher number of students going into the military than other schools. But still, the majority of our students will go on to college. Some will go right into business. Some will go into tech school. And of course, a percentage will go into the military. But what we're hoping is this leadership experience is something that they're going to take with them into college or into business, and they're going to be the leaders in their community. And so, whether they go into military or whether they go, into their parents' business, the skills that they learn will be skills that they'll use for their whole life.
What are the ages that we're talking about, and what are the class size as far as graduating classes roughly? Okay,
well, as an academy, right now our facility holds about 450 students. Next year we'll probably be moving to 500, but the class sizes are generally smaller, 20 or less in most classes. That experience allows for a little more in-depth education. The classroom is run in a military fashion. In fact, can you talk a little bit about how you start your classroom?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Each day, the students will come in. At that time, they are checked roll, and when they check roll, they stand. After roll is taken, then they are seated. When they have a question, they raise their hand. They're called to attention. They ask the question. As a teacher, I communicate with them. We may do simple day-to-day routine things, and then they sit back down again. But it's student-led. The students are in charge of discipline and what happens in the classroom. I'm just the facilitator of the information there.
From a curriculum standpoint, and it's really no different what you're teaching than any other high school, right?
Not at all, exactly. I teach the exact same things, but I'm that just started my 29th year, and this is a fabulous place. I used to probably spend 45% of my time discipline. That's not something I have to do here. Because it is a discipline-based school leadership, I probably spend less than 5%. So I get a lot more teaching done. Students learn more, and we have more student-teacher one-on-one than we do in a regular high school. When I found out about Summerlin when it opened, I saw the average kid from the average family not be able to go to college because they didn't have the funds for that. And after 4 years at Summerlin, which is what I tell my freshmen when they come in, if they give everything they have, someone is going to give them a scholarship or help them go to school. And that's what I believe in so much with the school, the teaching of leadership and the ability for the students to grow.
Both Steve and Ann, this is kind of a two-part question. I want you to address the first part, because this was a conversation. I had the privilege to being on your campus a couple of weeks ago and inside your range and shooting some video over there. But the first part of it, and one thing that you said that stuck with me, is the fact that this is a school of choice and the kids want to be there. And from a parental standpoint, if parents think that, yeah, this is the right choice, we're going to make you go, you guys kind of approach that a little bit different. The kids have to want to be there.
That's exactly right. The student has to come to us in a spirit of willingness, and they have to be willing to comply. If a student has had a problem with compliance prior to coming to our school, it rarely is a good educational outcome for them. If the student comes to us in a spirit of compliance, they want to be there, they want to do, For example, if a student does some sort of minor behavior in the classroom, in which we address everything because we put good behavior at a premium.
And at the end of the day, kids are going to be kids.
That's right, and they're going to do kid things, and we know that. But we also have to address everything. But we're also not going to address it using the code of conduct every time. But we address minor things in the classroom by, all right, you spoke out of turn, or you were having another conversation. You know, you should have had eyes on the teacher. Do some push-ups, all right? If they'll get down and do those push-ups, yes, I was wrong. I'm going to do these push-ups correctly, and I'm going to get back up, and I'm going to drive on and continue on with my education, then they want to be at Summerlin. If a student doesn't want to do that, or wear a uniform every day, or you know, come to our school and want to participate, because Summerlin student has so many activities. If they don't want to participate, then they're not going to have a good outcome.
And I'll agree to that. It's not so much that as a teacher that I have to do that. Students man themselves. You know, he said something inappropriate, or he did something he wasn't supposed to. You know, they use drop for the push-ups, drop and give me 5. Mm-hmm. And the students do that, and they just almost take care of it themselves, which is a fantastic opportunity for a teacher to not have to be the strict disciplinarian all the time. The kids really value the respect that they get amongst one another, and they show great respect to the teachers.
Yeah.
And from a teaching standpoint, talk about what a blessing it is to have a classroom of students, cadets that want to be there and know that they're building the blocks for their future.
It's fantastic. I'm a huge proponent of public school. I think students need to see all kinds of students, and at Summerlin they get that public school still mentality, atmosphere, get to know one another, but yet they are super respectful. And I can't think of a better place to teach, a better place for the kids to learn. It's a small family atmosphere. We support one another. I've talked to lots of students who have graduated in the last 9 years, and they come back and they said, I always felt like somebody had my back. Not just a teacher or an administrator, but another kid was there as my camaraderie person to help me. So.
Cadet Nicole Chung, let's talk a little bit about a day in the life. How long have you been at the school, and what is a day in school like for you?
I've been at the school for 4 years, so my entire high school career I've been at Summerlin, and your typical day changes with what grade you're in, because at Summerlin we are a leadership school, so we do wear our ranks and our responsibilities shift with what position you have. So as a freshman, I was learning how to follow. You can't have a bunch of chiefs and no Indians, so you really did learn how to follow. My sophomore year, I was in a position of leadership, but I wasn't at the top, so I still was, I was leading a smaller group and following my higher ups, my leaders, and I was in the staff. We have a staff, which is the primary group of planners and organizers who execute all our events, because we are student-led. And so I was planning a lot of that. And then my junior year, I worked with Major McCarty, and we planned the events, a lot of the major events we have, such as sophomore dining out. And then this year I was second in command, so my day was a lot less of the paperwork and the planning or even the following. It was serving my students, my fellow cadets. How can I help you? What do you need? Are you okay? Correcting uniform problems and stuff like that.
How did you make the choice to want to be at Summerlin?
My sister went to Summerlin, and she actually just commissioned into the Army from an ROTC scholarship. But she went there, and I really admire her and look up to her a lot. And she would always come home and tell me some of the great things either she's learning or just fun activities going on at Summerlin, because there's a lot of camaraderie and family life. And I really appreciated that, and I wanted to grow like she grew. She grew so much as a person, and I knew I wanted to do bigger things with my life, and Summerlin was the best way, in my opinion, to mentally be prepared.
As your career at Summerlin comes to an end, what's on the horizon for you, and how has the school prepared you for that?
I'm going to Southeastern University to major in international business and study pastoral ministry. And those are both leadership majors, regardless of where I'm going. I want to establish nonprofit organizations one day to combat slavery in Africa. That's my passion. So the things I've learned, they weren't tough things to learn, but you had to submit yourself to the process. And I'm going to take those with me everywhere, whether I go to work in a restaurant or just how to serve people, how to work with different personalities, a lot of different personalities at once. Even in the classroom, I've learned to really analyze people and watch them, and how they learn and how they partner, and how can I help you and how can we work together, what's the best way, because sometimes students don't behave in the classroom, and sometimes your teachers do need leadership to help you, and they need that support in the classroom. So you're able to communicate with them on a different level. Communication is something that we push, and it's never perfect, but we always are striving to improve it, and you can take that with you everywhere.
Being the spokesperson for the school, how would you want to influence others, future students, to attend Summerlin Academy? What would you say to them?
I would say, even if you don't want to join the military, and some of the morning formations or marching to lunch every day or doing the push-ups, it doesn't seem like it's conducive for your future and it's going to help. But like I said, submitting yourself to the process and trusting your struggle, whatever it is you're going through, you're going to come out with the lessons. It's not the specific instances that are going to define who you are, your future, to join the military or whatever, but the things you learn going through them are what are so crucial for you. And so I would say to just trust that the people there have your best interest in mind. And it's a lot of fun. You can enjoy yourself and grow at the same time. And
as a teacher, talk about how you see students, cadets come in that first year, and then of course and just turn out like this, just absolutely incredible.
It's a wonderful experience to watch the kids grow, watch them learn leadership from just following, as Nicole said, to become leaders themselves. I've watched students who weren't really sure they wanted to be there. Mom and dad maybe suggested it, and then all of a sudden, by their junior, senior year, they're ready to go to college, where college was not a thought before. They're ready to apply for a scholarship because their grades have improved so much. And then those high academic students just soar. They take our classes, they take the level 4 advanced language classes, they take all of the electives that are available at Bartow, because we're a school within a school at Bartow High School. So if you're an athlete or a band member or whatever, you can participate in all those activities, and they become the leaders that are going to be the leaders of tomorrow, which is very exciting.
Commandant Cochran, we have just a little bit of time left. Inspire parents and students potentially that would be interested in Summerlin Academy to stopping by and checking out the facility.
Oh, I wish they would, and I did want to mention that we were recently recognized, we were evaluated by the National Coalition of Career Academies and recognized as a model academy, only the second one in our school district. And probably only about 5% of academies get this recognition. We've been recognized as a model academy by this organization. And we're very proud of that. We worked very hard at it. And I think that they recognize what I think that what parents and students recognize when they're there, that you know, we have a small school atmosphere. We are there to help students. We're there to help improve students. We're there to give students opportunities to experience leadership, to be leaders, and to be a part of their community. So, and Summerlin Academy is not for every student. So if you think that your student would be interested in Summerlin Academy, or your student's not sure, we encourage them to come and shadow. All they need to do is call my guidance counselor, Miss Felicia Thornton, and we will set up a shadowing for them. We usually start them at the beginning of the school year. The application period now falls in January, so we try to get our shadowing done before then. But that is the absolute best way to know if your student likes that type of environment and would perform well at Summerlin Academy.
Commandant Cochran, Major McCarty, Cadet Chung, thank you very much for coming in and sharing your experiences and stories of Summerlin Academy.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Thank you.
The mission of Summerlin Academy is to motivate Polk County's young adults to be better citizens by promoting academic achievement, personal accountability, civic responsibility, and leadership skills in order to excel in higher education, career, community, and life. From the beginning of their Summerlin Academy careers, cadets learn what it takes to lead and how to effectively form a team, along with learning to manage time and resources while developing their own style of leadership. Cadets share experiences like none other and will be part of a community that is forged in lifelong learning, commitment, and honor. They're located at 1500 South Jackson Avenue in Bartow. Parents and students can find out more at summerlinacademy.com or give them a call at 863-519-7504.